Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Polarized. I'm your host, Molly Dare, and we're going to go ahead and get started because there is so much to talk about. The first and foremost on everyone's mind is the Blake Lively amended filing that came in 1 minute before the stroke of midnight. Our girl loves drama. She had until midnight last night to get this in. She had 60 seconds to spare, and she slid it in right under the wire. We were all waiting. What is this explosive new allegations going to be? What are the amendments? What is the additional proof she's going to throw in there? We could not wait. We're sitting there refreshing the website, waiting for this document to appear. It appears, and it's a nothing burger. The fact that she asked for a 1.5-month extension to get this all together, okay, and the judge only granted her a 1-week extension, okay. She had 1 extra week. During this 1 extra week where she had to scramble to get everything and all this extra evidence, she did take her day off to get glam and go to a red carpet event, mind you, okay? But so much evidence was coming. So let's go to what the amendments in this filing, what they said, okay? The only amendments of note to be included in this filing was she included as evidence a 2017 TED Talk by Justin Baldoni. This is before they even filmed. This is from her, his past, which then, of course, why are we not allowed to bring up the interviews of Blake's past? It's not reconciling for me. Again, there's no new actual evidence, but she does allege, again, that she's had conversations with cast members where they were made to feel uncomfortable. So she has kind of dropped. There was nothing new on the sexual harassment charges. She really didn't speak about the sexual harassment charges. She spoke of it under the word of uncomfortable. She also added that in August 2024, a cast member asked Blake if they could get guidance from Sony because they were being cyberbullied. Okay, this is after filming has wrapped, after the premiere. She included that for some reason. The biggest thing was that she rephrased the smear campaign that she alleged Justin Baldoni and his PR team were doing against her as now a social manipulation plan, is what they're calling it. In retaliation to Blake and her allegations. And she's saying that we, the social media reporters, deep divers, sleuths, are being fed the information, and we are part of this retaliation, social manipulation plan. Is this play about us? She goes ahead to use the word astroturfing again, and that we're being fed the stories. And I can tell you, for me, and I know many others who are reporting on this, no one is feeding us anything. It takes 2 seconds to Google, Blake Lively interviews and Blake Lively speaking to find what we need to find. It's not that difficult. And the words are out of her own mouth, implicating her love of taking films over, how that is her intended purpose, how she doesn't want to just act, that she will find ways to take her films and her parts over. She talks more about, the other cast members. Again, there's no proof. She has no text messages she shared of these conversations she's allegedly having about, again, them feeling uncomfortable. To me, it feels like she couldn't get any other people to use the word sexual harassment, so she downgraded it to they felt uncomfortable on set. And she says that they will testify to that under oath. Okay, so basically the summary of this amended filing is that they're mad that Justin tried to defend himself from what was being put out there, and he used his PR team and tactics to do so. And honestly, you would have to bring all of Hollywood and their PR agencies on trial then, because that is what a PR agency does, right? You try to make things look in your client's favor, and you put out favorable articles of them, and you will also point out discrepancies if something is being said negative against them. So I may not have gone to law school, but I do know the importance of evidentiary support. Thank you, Elwoods. And there is none in this filing. Okay, next up, moving over to the other big headline of the week is Elizabeth Holmes. If you remember, she was the CEO and founder of Theranos. She is back in the news because she just had a front page cover story on People magazine, her first interview since going to prison. She was given an 11-year sentence, and it's now downgraded to 9 for good behavior. And she says that when she gets out of prison, she is going to start a new company again. She's going to get right back at it. She does maintain her innocence still in this interview, you guys. She says that even though she is innocent, there are some things she would have done differently. That is what she says. But she says that even though what she was creating failed, failure is not a crime. And so anyway, we're going to do a big deep dive in the next episode, kind of diving into what really happened, how her company came to be, how it fell apart, the whistleblowers, and her hearing, and her conviction, and her time in prison, and what she's going to be doing when she gets out. And very much looking forward to discussing that. Candace Owens coming out with some bombshell allegations of France's president in her new series called Becoming Brigitte. And you guys, if you are not listening to this, this is wild. So Candace Owens alleges that the Macrons, is that how you say their names, the president and the first lady of France, okay, are actually trying to give her hush money to keep the story quiet, but she is not one to stay quiet on anything. And she alleges that not only is the first lady born a man, but that she also seduced her now husband when she was a teacher and he was a student. He was 15 years old and she was late 30s, okay, when they first got together. They are very clearly upset that she is saying and exposing what she is. I'm not going to go into too much detail because a lot of people who have reported on this have gone missing, and I would like to stay where I am. So I'm going to just tell you to head on over to Candace Owens' Becoming Brigitte series and listen for yourselves on this wild tale from France, and let me know your thoughts on what you think is going on over there. Moving on from the SNL's 50th red carpet to the SAG Awards red carpet happening the same evening, Demi Moore is the picture of the fountain of youth. Her, Nicole Kidman, Angelina Jolie, Lindsay Lohan, whatever substance, whatever they're imbibing in, whatever elixir, whatever doctor, please give me the details. Leave it in the comments, DM me, call me. What in the world are they all doing? They look fabulous. They look younger each and every time I see them. Definitely sign me up for whatever club they are a part of. And regardless of the membership fee, I'm in. All right, moving on to another fabulous woman making headlines, the amazing Wendy Williams, who has been the topic of many headlines in the past few years, not all positive. We all saw her deteriorate in the documentary that was released just a couple of years ago. Honestly, it was a really, really tough watch. And she was on, the height of her alcoholism and struggling with her mental health. Well, she is taking steps to be released from her guardianship. I'm so happy to report. And I'm super excited for her. I just want to read a little bit from this interview with her. It was honestly so sad to watch. She's been trapped up in this room under some conservatorship where she hasn't even been let out. And they interviewed her, Harvey Levin from TMZ interviewed her, and she's like speaking through this glass window because she's not allowed out. I mean, it's wild. The former talk show host reportedly signed an affidavit on Wednesday asking a judge to release her from the guardianship, claiming that she has regained capacity to be in charge of her own life with the help of family members, a sober coach, and professional financial advisors. I believe in the documentary, like she was just taken full advantage of. And when you're in a state like she was in, it's unfortunately so you become prey to people who would take advantage. All right, in this interview, TMZ founder Harvey Levin interviews Williams over the phone while a camera crew on the street films her standing in the fifth floor window of her assisted living facility. Williams said that she has been living in the facility for 6 or 7 months and that she's only allowed to leave twice in the last 30 days. Her guardianship began in 2022, and that's when we saw the documentary. Her bank expressed concern that she was being exploited financially. Her documentary, which is Where's Wendy Williams? Honestly, I really don't want anyone to watch it. I felt it was so in the wrong for them to do, and it took complete advantage of her. Okay, in this documentary, it was revealed that she had been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. and that she was living in a care facility. Around the same time, Williams' family went public with their concerns about Williams' life under a court-appointed guardian, who reportedly tried to block the Lifetime doc's release. Ultimately, obviously, it was released. She was visibly unwell, who was often under the influence of alcohol and struggled to hold coherent conversations, which we all saw. But in this interview with Harvey Levin, you guys, you see the Wendy Williams that we knew from the Wendy Williams show. She is at her, it appears, her peak self. She appears sober, which obviously has a huge part to play in it. She's focused and she's very aware of her surroundings, something very different than what we were seeing. She initially disputed that she had been exploited financially by her son, but she did eventually acknowledge that from the facility, that he overstepped his boundaries and he was inappropriately using her money without telling her about it. And that is the saddest part to me, like your own family taking advantage of you when you are in such like a weakened state. Also, according to TMZ, Williams wants to revisit her diagnosis. She reportedly claimed in her affidavit that she does not have frontotemporal dementia. She is claiming this. She says, in terms of how I feel health-wise, I feel fantastic. I'm not incapacitated, Williams told Levin. While frontotemporal dementia is a degenerative neurological condition, the documentary says that she never had it to begin with. It says that one neurologist who's interviewed theorizes that she could have alcohol-related brain damage instead, which is possible to recover from if you stop drinking. Anyway, so she is going to be reevaluated this next week. And hopefully after this evaluation, her lawyer intends to file a petition that would once again raise the issue of Williams' guardianship with the judge overseeing the case. Praying for Wendy Williams' release. I'm so glad to hear that she is doing better, and hopefully another positive update to come on that.